Hello and welcome to Vampire the Regicide. This is a visual novel about vampires. Yeah, that's about all I know about this. So let's get started. Name is Mikhail, you are dead. It's been 2 years since you woke to a secret world darkness. Memory from your time alive has been shattered. All you have is undeath. And the work? Messiah, Auric, has been training you as a hound, supernatural investigator serving under him. Your city, get that, falls under the domain of the Camarilla, the largest and most powerful of the vampire sects. Together, most vampires are referred to as kindred, forced their masquerade. Global deception meant to keep kindred society a secret for the mortal world. All you know is the work. Stand in a room, hazy, like a memory viewed through squinted eyes. Distant, muffled shouts come from somewhere outside the walls. You've dreamed this place 12 times now. Don't know where it is, only that it's yours. Let's pick up the item. Turn the item in your hands. It's a comforting, familiar weight, smooth and flat. Know that when you wake up, you won't remember what it is. You never do. Nothing better to do, you wander the unfocused room, footsteps echoing on the tiles? Marble? Nothing, apparently. Trying to trick yourself into knowing more details won't work. As you walk on the frustratingly indeterminate floor, a second pair of footsteps sounds off behind you. Know who that is. A friend. Trusted. Well, let's wait for them to approach. Of course, there might be chaos outside, but here with them, you can relax. You don't need to be on your guard. Except stop, close behind you. Too close. You say something. Feel the rumble of the words in your chest, but their meaning is lost. They come even closer. Put a hand on your shoulder. There's a blunt, searing pain just under your shoulder blade. Ow. Okay, maybe I should have turned around. When you look down, the tip of a stake has punched all the way through your chest. Bright blood glints with perfect clarity on the polished wood. I'm sorry. Sorry, Mick. Mick. Back in the apartment, still in the clothes from last night's stakeout. Didn't have time to change out of them before the day sleep took you. Sire stands over you, a concerned look on his face. Another dream? Chest still hurts where the stake went through. You nod. I got staked this time. Oh, by who? Not sure. A friend, I think. They keep saying they were sorry. Did you believe them? Yes, I guess so. Think so. They sound like they meant it. Mikhail, they stalked you. Not saying they're a saint or anything. They just sounded sorry is all. Certainly more forgiving than I would be. Well, now that you're up, I suppose you'll be getting to work then. Boys should. I feel like I'm really close to finding out who's been writing that fanfiction. Yes, Masquerade Breacher. To think all of vampiric society hinges on a single fanfiction or fanphonetic net user. Children these days. It confused the hell out of me. What have you figured out so far? I don't think our poster is kindred. Several of their posters are during daylight hours. I suspect maybe an ex-school, or maybe just someone who wasn't memory wiped properly. Exciting. Are you sure you don't want my help on this one? I'm sure, I guess. Yeah, I think I got this one. Have a guy by the end of the night. Good, I believe in you. Now, go on. I'll be waiting here for you when you return. You nod and smile, and make your way out. Spend the night doing what you do best. 2 years since your embrace and no memories of the time before, and still you know one thing. You're good at this work. As the hours fly by, the lead fall into each other, and you find yourself close. You're on the way to your target's address when you pass by the Elysium building. It looks golden in the evening like this. Take a moment to breathe it in. Take a moment to try and feel normal. Mick? Oh, thank God I found you. Eric, what are you doing here? Mick, something's happened. You need to come with me right now. Prince has been murdered. Breen has summoned us. What? Can hardly believe it. Same night you had that dream again? How was he killed? Oh, esteemed, person didn't Dean would say. Why? What are the dreams, I don't know. Maybe I'm devoted Auspex or something. Like visions of the future. Something Auspex users get sometimes, right? Oric frowns. Adventure, Mikhail. You did not get that power normally. Didn't blood bond yourself to someone, did you? Of course not. Tension in your shoulders releases a fraction. Developing Auspex on your own is rare, but not unheard of, I guess. Let's get to Alexander's office and see if you're psychic then. Prince Alexander held his court in the confines of the the place of the fine arts. Thomas sat in the upper floors of the building, while his meeting grounds, his Elysium, rested in the lower levels. As is the case with all Carmilla Elysiums, the rules are simple. Obey your prince, do not use your disciplines, and mind your manners. Night 1, Prince's office, 5:30 a.m. Merely upon entering the room, you're struck with the smell of ash and smouldering bone. It's sickening. A violent urge creeps up your throat, just barely smothered. Voice of your beast grates in your mind. Run. There is nothing for you, my friend. Nothing but the grave. Still difficult to get used to it. Animal instincts given power, given voice. Still yourself and make your way further in. The room is lavish, decorated with old books and fine wood. A collection of antique desks marshalling the wall closet closest to the prince's desk. Various other luxuries and niceties lay strewn about the floor. Ancient redwood desk is split in two. Powerful strike delivered to it from above. Next to it is the charred skeleton. Bone is far too aged to belong to anyone other than a kindred. Its severed head rests a few feet away from its neck. Oric glances your way. You shake your head. There was nothing about beheading in your dream. Breen, Prince Alexander's essential and left-hand woman, is already in the study when you arrive, coldly regarding the scene before her. At the other end of the room stands Kira, Alexander's only child. She is older than you, but that's not saying much. At hardly 15 years into immortality, she is still outranked by everyone else here. She doesn't look up from the skeleton when you enter the room. Breen. Eric, what a pleasant surprise. Surprise? You sent for me. Actually, that was my request. Kira steps away from the wall. I sent for you both as soon as I found him. You're locked out of this particular investigation, Eric. You had to be joking. You may be a sent shell, but I'm still the sheriff, Breen. You're not Prince yet. Yes, the sheriff was with a past of betraying every prince he served. Oh, this won't be your third dead prince? Yeah, let's defend him. Alexander kept his bloodbound. You know you couldn't have done this. Eric, you would do well to control your spawn. After all, there are laws against talking back to your elders. Mikhail was a hound, and if you weren't allowed to question his elders, he wouldn't be a very effective investigator, would he? Breen's lips twitched. Regardless, I won't stand for a known traitor investigating our prince's murder. And I assume you'd like to handle this one all on your own then. Do you doubt I could? You know, it's not about capability. Alexander paired us together to curb your forces, making it a point to take his time off on a diplomatic way to phrase it. Traditionalist tendencies. Alexander has been murdered, Auric. Tradition is exactly what we... Enough, both of you. Breen shoots Kira murderously. Kira ignores it. Breen is right. Bound or not, Auric's past won't inspire confidence. But Auric is right too. Sire made you work together for a reason. Neither of you can be involved in this alone. Which is why Breen has granted me the role of acting hound. You're joking. You have no experience. I do. Ron's eyes turn to you. Been helping Auric with his duties as sheriff ever since he embraced me. I've been a hound for as long as I can remember. Please, you were embraced last month. 2 years, actually. Breen levels you with a hard look. The fact that you think this is a difference only proves my point. She sighs. One representative of yours, one of mine, just as Alexander would have liked. And I suppose this was your idea, Breen. Actually, it was mine. I considered you two might have trouble getting along, so I removed you both from the equation. Breen already approved the decision, and her authority trumps yours in this matter. The way I see it, you either send your hound in your place, or you don't participate at all. Either one is good for me. So, what will it be? Or crosses his arms, thinking. Mikhail is good at a job, and I know you'll be looking for the truth, Kira. Everyone else will know that too. Any perceived bias he might have as my child will be balanced out. I'll accept that arrangement. Breen grins, far too wide to be genuine. Very well. You two will report back to me with your findings. I'll make the final judgment. And I'd like to be kept informed as well. Shoots a sharp glance at Breen. May have to tread carefully, Mikhail. Auric and Breen made their way to the door before Auric turns to face you one more time. Good luck, Mikhail. Liz and you and Kira are alone with the body. Without Breen and Auric arguing, the stony silence quickly becomes unbearable. Hi? Mikhail, by the way. I know, Kira. Right. So much for small talk. Has anyone been in here since the murder? Only me. Camera feeds were shut down around 3:15 in the morning. Had them turned back on as soon as I arrived and found them off. That would have been around 4:50. Breen was here as well, but I watched her the entire time. Kira's gaze strays from you to the charred corpse. Looks away just as quick. Security says that they only logged 2 kindred in the building between the time that the camera went off and when I arrived. Whoever killed Alexander must have done it then. Okay, yeah, who are prime suspects? Kira tries to wait uncomfortably. 2 we have targeted or tagged so far: Breen as the scent shell and Shredded, the keeper of the Elysium. So far? Not convinced that it's going to be that simple for us. Yeah. Okay, let's ask about Shredder. What about Shredder? It's not exactly common to have someone from the clan Ravnos for your Elysium keeper. Ravnos may have had a bad reputation, but I can't say much about Shredder specifically. I know they used to work for the Sabbat. That's all I have. You know the Sabbat, a faction of fanatical vampire supremacists that once rivaled the Camarilla. It's considered impolite to mention them in pleasant company. Alexander had 2 ex-Sabbat in his court. That sounds dangerous. Risky. Kira nods. Alexander took a lot of risks. Your mentor was Sabbat once. You trust him? Of course I do. Then it's no different. Sabbat are fanatics. They are our enemy. Can't say that I trust them, either of them, especially now. But I trusted the prince, and he believed that the two of them had proved themselves. Take a moment to consider that. Rourke doesn't like to talk about his time with the Sabbaths. He knows that he hates them, and things they had him do still haunt him. Rourke was blood bonded to the prince's insurance. Is that the same true for Bear? Is it the God, I can't speak today. The same true as Shredder? Not to my knowledge. If Alexander had leverage on them, he never told me. Okay, well, let's ask about Breen then. Tell me about Breen. She's from Clan Assamite, right? Kira gives you a quizzical look. Assamite? You mean Banu Hakim? Are they not the same thing? Maybe, the same way that the internet is the same as it was in the 90s. They've changed with times. Fine, Banu Hakim, whatever she is. What's your breed on her? Kira pauses, picking over her words carefully. Breen is clever. She's seen a lot, and she's done a lot of good for the city. The reforms and advices have both gone a long way to securing the city from the Sabbaths. But she's a traditionalist, still holds on to some of the ideas of low and high clans from the Dark Ages. Breen knows how to play people to get what she wants. Xander spent a lot of time keeping her and her prejudices in check. Now that he is gone, Galaxy is away, searching for someone or something to put her eyes onto. Things are going to be easier for her now. Yeah. Okay, where do you think we should start? Alright, where do you think we should start? Kira frowns at the skeleton. We need to examine the body. Figuring out how he was killed will help us narrow down who even could have pulled this off. Takes a moment to look around the carnage of the room. Should also search the study for anything that might point us to why he was killed, beyond a simple power play. You don't think this was about the throne? I didn't say that. Not yet convinced this was about succession, that's all. Not to her. Yeah, well, we need to rule out everything, so... Anything else? Alexander might have a personal file somewhere in here that could point us to one suspect or another. I'd like to take a look at those, if we could find them. Agreed. Okay, well, let's ask her if she's alright. Kira pulls her brow at you. Face is approaching a scowl. What's that supposed to mean? Yeah, it can't be easy being assigned to this. Nothing, it just can't be easy being here is all. I can handle it. I know, you wouldn't be here if you couldn't. If I search your face for weakness, a lie, possible to say. Then her eyes drop to the ruined desk, hands twirl over an old notch in the wood, barely noticeable. He didn't force me to keep the bond, you know, like some sires would. He chose me because he trusted me, because I knew I could. Pause and let out a long, tired sigh. You're right. Don't think I've ever done anything harder. Maybe I never will again. Appreciate your concern, but we have a job to do. Okay, let's get started. Make your way to the center of the room. Okay, let's... we'll investigate the body first. Make your way over to the charred corpse. The closer you get to it, the more you feel your beast stir. Run. Stay strong. Crouch down alongside what's left of Alexander's body. Kira joins you. Okay. Let's inspect the head. Move her to the head. Kira's trouble keeping her eyes focused on it. There's a little of note, except his fangs aren't retracted. Kira forces her attention onto the skull. He was either feeding or he might have hurt the attacker. Yeah, he might have hurt his attacker. If he was trying to fight back, he might have bitten his attacker. meaning his attacker might have been hurt. Kira nods. Takes a lot of blood and time to heal a bite. So we're looking for a kindred with a wound, who is trying to heal a wound fast. You got something there. The odds of you catching the killer before they heal is unlikely, but the odds of them being able to feed as much as they'll need to without leaving a trace, like those odds a lot more. Okay, let's inspect the neck. Trace your fingers along the course of the collarbone, running along the spinal cord, right where it was severed. It's jagged, but only slightly so. Cut, not torn. There are cut marks in the bone. Clear one motion, lots of force. Kira looks up at you, eyes wide. You can tell all that? This time it's your turn to frown. Isn't my first body? Right. Decides to change the subject. Clean cut marks, lots of force. That suggests a bladed weapon, and access to potence. Kind some suspicions. No doubt that this was predetermined. Maybe. Continue to run your finger along the cut before moving on. Okay, let's inspect the rest of the bones. Run your hand gently across the scorched bones. Upon the final death, the bones looked like they burst into cold flame, turning to the age they would have been had they never touched immortality. Same fate that awaits even the oldest of you. There's very little to see. The burning has obscured any markings or wounds that might have been useful. Okay, let's do Spirit's Touch, whatever this is. You could gain insight into what happened in this room last night, like you've heard of Auspex years doing. That would be invaluable here. That dream. I'm really developing Auspex. Decide to give it a shot. See how far you can push it. Reach out and touch the bones, close your eyes and attempt to channel the blood. The tea in your veins starts to boil. But nothing comes. You're left with only deafening silence. Okay, well, it was worth a try. Okay, let's inspect the carnage. Look around the mess in the room. Books are torn in half. There are several fist-sized holes in the wall. The dark desk is split in half, right down the middle. Xander was Bruja, wasn't he? Yes. Looks like they had one hell of a fight. Kira crouches down and picks up a piece of broken bookshelf. Shake your head. Hard to believe Ravnos could do this. Hard to believe a Banu don't know why I can't say that, but could either. Still, they are far older than us. Who knows what disciplines or tricks they might have picked up. Get the impression you're missing something. Maybe this will make sense once you looked around some more. Okay, well, time to search the room. Spend several minutes going through drawers and pulling books from the shelves, looking for any kind of documentation that might implicate one of your suspects. Yeah, I'd say look at the bookshelf. Don't think there's much left on the desk. Search the bookshelf thoroughly, pulling out what you can and flipping through the pages. Histories, comedies, and tragedies, real and imagined, new and old, fill the shelves. Not until you pull out a copy of When You Forgot It that you spot it. Small slip of paper, finally pressed and signed with the most elegant handwriting you've ever seen. Orlag? I don't know how to pronounce that, but anyway. I think I found something. Kira stumbles over a broken lamp to get to you. You hold out the slip of paper for her. Squints at it, Boro frowning. Orlag. The primogen of the Nosferatu in the city? Yeah, I think it's a message. You hold out the book you found it in. When You Forgot It. Does that seem in character for Orlag? Leaving a secret message in a book? Yes, from what little I know of him, what do you think it means? If I had to guess, I'd say they were meant to meet tonight. How can you be sure? You shrug. I don't think this is something that would just sit in Alexander's shelf on accident. God tells me this is relevant. Kira grimaces. Secret message with a premonition revealed on the night the prince was murdered. Fortunately, the plot thickens. Okay, let's go for the desk now. Make your way over to what is left of the prince's desk. The work on it must have been exquisite. Now it is just splinters. Fumbling around, you search what remained of the desk drawers. Few torn pieces of paper, shipping reports, and documents that you and Auric wrote for him. There's nothing of value here. I think I found something. Oh, it's her turn to actually find something this time. Send him across the room to get to Kira. She's crouched by a small floor safe in the corner of the room, well hidden and left slightly ajar. What have we got? She opens the safe door wide enough for you to see inside. Cold air flows outward, coming up and dancing in the warm light of the room's lamps. Blood. You know what it is, even before she says it. Even through the thick plastic, the blood's baked scent lays thick on your tongue. Something lurches in your throat, that familiar feeling of ravenous disgust. Bagged blood? Is this Shredder's special mix? Alexander would have been too old to drink cold blood like this otherwise. Open one, do you think you can control yourself? I doubt it's my type. Looks at you confused. I'm Ventura, Kira. I can only have certain kinds of blood without vomiting. Picky ears and all that. Realization dawns. That's right. I forget that Auric is a pauper. It's rare to see a Venture in the role of sheriff. Pauper. Yeah, I'm familiar with that term. What's a pauper? Now Kira looks confused. Pauper? Like a Venture who's never been a prince? She scans your face for any sign of recognition. She seems surprised to find none. I just heard it somewhere. Let's move on. So that's probably for the best. Right, well, Auric had to do a lot under the Sabbath. It was hard for him to push past his blood bond to them. But with the skills he picked up, Prince thought he'd make a good sheriff. Blood bonds carry a strong supernatural weight. He must have really suffered to muster the willpower to get free. Kira opens the bag of blood. Smell is a rush. Makes you hungry. Makes you gag. What does Shredder do to these things? She ignores your questions, sniffs the bag. Yeah, I'm not going to smell the blood. Let's take a closer look at the fridge. Which is only missing one bag. Besides the one just opened, it must have been restocked very recently. Could this have been poisoned? Is that even possible? I don't know, but I've had bags of Alexander's stash before. It smells different. Yeah, I'm kind of suspecting Breen, but at the same time, we didn't really see any wounds on her, so... we'll go for Shredder. Could Shredder tamper with the usual mix? It'd be the most likely to have access. Who knows what their mixers can do at worst. Kira pours a bag of blood into an empty vase nearby, walks back to the center of the room. Sickening smell lingers in the air, clinging to you every time you pass by the vase. Hey, I think we're done here. Stand and take a step away from it all. Kira gets up to join you. It's pretty late. You should call it a night. Not sure there's anything else we'll find here. Yeah, let's call it a night. You nod politely. We have a lot of work to do tomorrow night, and both our esteemed elders are expecting our reports. Agreed. Auric has my information. We'll be in touch. With that, Kira leaves. Okay, night 1. Auric's apartment, 6 a.m. When you return home, Auric is in the kitchen reading a copy of that book. The usual copy is far older than you. The first printing, allegedly. Leather binding is soft and well used, carefully maintained throughout the decades. This one is nearly identical, but less careworn. Its binding is stiff like it hasn't been read in years. Have you always had 2 copies of that book? Oak looks up at you and smiles. This one isn't mine, it was a friend's. Earlier tonight, you and Kira talked about his time with the Sabbath. Everything you know about it has been gleaned from offhanded mentions over the years. No one talks about it directly, and usually you don't want to bring up bad memories by asking. But this time, curiosity gets the better of you. A friend from the Sabbath occupation? Wait for the quiet pull to fall over his face, like it always does. But this time, he smiles fondly. No, this friend was from before. Read it together, back when neither of us were much of anything to anyone. What do you think of him today? Wondering if it was this, prince that got murdered. 'Cause, yeah. I mean, not like he's gonna miss it anyway, but, you know. Closes the book. Most of dust bursts off the pages, drifting lazily in the air as he sits it down on the table. That's neither here nor there. Why don't you tell me what you found tonight? Sit at the counter mulling over what you have. Okay, the body. Wasn't much left to look at, but the cut through the neck was relatively clean. No claws then? No sign of a rogue gangrel, no. Rogue raises a brow. Or rogue Nosferatu. Oh, we'll get to Orlag. But it looks like whoever it was, they used a blade. Probably Potence too, to get a cut that clean. They beheaded him in one hit, it looked like. Okay, the struggle. You noticed the desk, right? Big one split in half in the middle of the room. Might have glanced at it. And the holes in the wall? There was also a fountain pen, if we're just naming things in the room. Going somewhere with this. Be patient, okay? Oh, fine. As I was saying, looks like there was a struggle. Someone to hold their own against Prince Alexander. Either the attacker did that damage to the room, or they were able to withstand attacks like that. No matter what, they wouldn't just need physical disciplines. Prince made his name by driving out the Sabbath. Whoever killed him was experienced enough to survive him. I doubt they got out unscathed. And now for the blood bags. Found some of the Shredder's bags in his office. The blood had been tampered with somehow. I think it was some kind of poison. Really? Was Kira the one that found that? No, the wrong blood can be distracting to you. She was. I could hardly stand being near it. But the poison was obviously wasn't that what killed him. Why use a non-lethal dose? You shrug. Prince was strong. Maybe it should have been lethal. Maybe it took too long to take effect. Either way, we know the killer planned this. I see. So you're looking for a seasoned combatant with multiple physical disciplines, access to poison and the prince's blood stash, a knife big enough to chop through a neck. Someone who might be injured or who recently went through a lot of blood to heal. They would need a way into his office too. Either they were someone Alexander trusted or they had whatever that is. Assume you have suspects? Yeah. So far, yes, either Shredder or Orlag. But if it was Orlag, he wouldn't have left the note there. Because, yeah, that would be very damning to him, so yeah, I think Shredder for now. Shredder is an obvious choice. They provide blood for a lot of people, including the prince. You might not even need someone like Breen to provide poison. To figure out how to make bag blood satisfying, they might be able to make their own poison. I'm having trouble with a motive though. Shredder's ex-Sabbath too. Do you know anything about them? Rourke sits back, arms crossed, eyes distant as he thinks back. Shredder isn't just ex-Sabbath. They were an Inquisitor. Hunted, those types of people, if I remember right. Certainly one of the more morally defensible things you can do under the Sabbath. We didn't talk much. An Inquisitor? I never thought of them as tough, but if they were taking down demon worshippers, do you think they could have fought the prince if he was weakened? Maybe. But I've never seen them overpower anyone like that. I seem to prefer misdirection. Not to say that they don't have any tricks up their sleeves. They play things close to their chest, but I certainly haven't seen them slip up any. I guess that all that damage could have been from the prince throwing them around. And Shredder has access to essentially unlimited blood. Could easily heal any wound they got from the struggle. But why would they kill him? Didn't the prince offer them the same clemency you got? Gratitude isn't always the motivator Alexander hoped it to be. And in Shredder's case, gratitude is all Alexander had to rely on. Didn't have Shredder under a blood bond like I was. That's what Kira suspected. Why the hell would the prince do that though? Shredder's been trusted with lithium, our blood supply. Orc shrugs. They must have some sort of understanding up until tonight. Would have told you that it looks like Alexander knew something we don't, but now, maybe he really was just too trusting. Okay, let's do Orlag next. Found a note and a copy of Waiting and Forgot It for a secret meeting. You think he scheduled a murder attempt? There's certainly one way to make sure the victim shows up. Would Orlog have any reason to want the prince dead? He certainly hates the Camarilla enough. He does? Can he do that? Hate the Camarilla and still be a part of it? You'd be surprised. He doesn't talk to me much, but even I've heard about how they ousted him out of his princedom. He was a prince? Where? When? God knows. You'll have to ask him. All the noise is underground in the ruins, I guess. And he crawls out of there to talk to Alexander when he wants something anyway. Wow, you really don't like him. Rorik sighs. Sorry, he's just not the most pleasant company. Never expressed any outward resentment of Alexander himself, at least. But he talks about his damned princedom that he might not need to resent Alexander to want to take his place. He wouldn't have popular support, but there's a lot of Nosferatu in the Warrens. He might be able to stage a coup if he mobilized them. And if he has potent, that and maybe claws, out of everyone, he has the best chance of having done that to Alexander. Okay. Then about Breen. Breen can make her own poison. She has access to the prince's office, and she probably has this thing as well. I've never seen her in a fight, but she always seems so confident. She could take the role of sheriff. I assume she's good. Breen can hold her own, and she certainly has a motive. She respected Alexander well enough, but she never agreed with his acceptance of, well, a lot of things. I suspect I was bad enough, but Shredder, Next Sabbath, and Ravenous. Alexander was never a traditional prince. Had a soft spot for strays, people needing redemption. Breen always thought his idealism would be his downfall. I suppose in the end, she was right. It's a shame. Believed so strongly that people could change for the better. He was an admirable man, and an unwavering belief in others was by far what I admired most about him. You still think that even now your blood bond to him is gone? I never resented that bond. It was a fair trade for what I was given. I got to live. I got to use my skills for something good. And I got you. All in all, it wasn't a bad deal. I believe he was a good man before the bond. I believe it now. Either way though, guilty or not, the fact that Breen was right about Alexander will make her dangerous. Hear what her influence might mean for the more vulnerable clans in the city. Yeah, I know Kira kind of expressed the same thoughts as well. Seems like you have a good set of suspects lined up. You and Kira did good work. Rorik stands when he's still in one smooth motion. It's always jarring to see him so still. For some reason, you expect him to have to stretch when he gets up, or stop to catch his breath when he laughs. Back when you were first embraced, you thought it was just you getting used to unlife. Maybe the idea just stuck. It'll be day soon. You should get ready to rest, Mick. Breen has a ghoul waiting outside. Send him back to tell her to gather the suspects at Elysium. Do you think she'll take it well that she's one of them? Rorik's lip caught us up in a mischief smoke. Maybe we don't have to tell her just yet. How do you know she'll show up then? Huh, are you kidding? Think she'll miss the chance to take credit for your victory? No, she'll want to supervise, I guarantee it. Rick gives you one last smile before shutting the door behind him. I know you solved the case, Mick. His footsteps echo down the hall, growing quieter and quieter until he is gone. Okay, we're back to dreaming again. You open your eyes, you're in the room again. It's as blurry as ever. In your hands is the item. Look at the item. Hands there's a copy of this book you saw Auric reading. Soft moonlight diffuses over the leather-bound cover. Yesterday, Auric's voice filtered into your dream. Now it seems like items from your waking hours are working their way into your dreams too. Your hands move on their own accord, flipping the pages open to a point halfway through the book. It's a chapter in the style of a journal entry, written by an old clerk remembering his part of the revolutions of 1848. You sit down on the steps, reading. The book reminds you of a friend, just like it reminds Auric of his. You laugh. Mostly it reminds you of a friend. You only know about the book because of Auric. Reading that again? Look up and see who spoke. It's... Ah, damn it. Didn't get to see who it was. God damn it. As you enter the Elysium this evening, you're greeted by distant icy glares from your suspects, watching from their comfortable clothes as you make your way across the room. None of them seem to have expected you. Shredder, the prince's keeper of Elysium, usually keeps the place lively and interested well into the night, but now there is a somber mood. Lee Breen moves to greet you. Oh, Mikhail, Kira, how absolutely darling it is to see you. Yeah, good evening, lady. Good evening, Lady Essential. Hope you didn't go through too much trouble. Breen giggles. Oh, my dear, for you, I move mountains. You mean for Prince Alexander? Oh, yes, of course, my dear. For the prince. Allow me to introduce you to our suspects. Breen walks ahead, Kira hangs back. Does she not know she's a suspect as well? Yeah, I figured she'd be more cooperative if she wasn't letting in on that yet. Get the impression that Breen is only here going to help us so long as she thinks we're on her side. Kira raises an eyebrow. Aren't we? If she's innocent, then we are on her side. You and I both know that, but Breen, get the impression that on her side looks a lot more narrow to her. Kira smiles slightly at that and nods. Breen leads you to the other two kindreds in the Elysium Hall. Both stand or slink their way back to the center of the room to greet you. My friends, allow me to introduce, or reintroduce as it may be, our two esteemed hounds, Mikhail and Kira. They're looking into the prince's murder on Auric and I's behalf, given our difficulty to working together alone. Ooh, you're one gnarly looking dude. Very fucking creepy. Good evening, both of you. A pity we had to meet under such unpleasant circumstances. I have faith you'll find a swift and just conclusion to this tragedy, no doubt. Well, like it's the Nosferatu Primagon here in Krakow? Yeah. If you have any questions about Nosferatu activities in the city, he'll be happy to cooperate with you, won't you, Oleg? Of course, I would hate for there to be any misunderstandings about how dedicated the Nosferatu are to the future of the city. And of course, the two of you know our colourful Elysium keeper, Shredder. Oh. I was not expecting this. I was definitely expecting a lot more ominous and creepy like the other guy, but, yeah, okay. Oh, Brie, you think I'm colourful? You're under suspicion of murder. I would suggest dredging up a mediocre of professionalism. Shredder gives her a loose salute. Yes, ma'am. Turn to you and Kira. I like how they have like one little tooth sticking out. That's cute. I'll be happy to answer any question you got. And where's Sultans as they lean in to address Kira? We need a drink. Drinks on the house. I'm sorry about your sire. You're pretty calm about being on the hook for it. Shh, come on, Mikhail. Next Sabbath and the only ravenous in town. The accused of shit is just another Monday night for me. Of course. Well, you should all be situated. Do you feel free to stop by and chat with me should you crave my advice, won't you? We'll see. Ta-ta. Okay. Kira waits until Breen is out of earshot before speaking. Alright, Mikhail. Replies are set. Who are we talking to first? I'm going to talk to Shredder. He seems like an interesting character now that I've actually got to see them. Time took you to get to them. Shredder was wandered back behind the bar. Of course they have. They see you and Kira. They stop fiddling with the glasses they were cleaning and slide over, hoisting himself onto the counter. Hey, yeah, my turn now. If you got the time in your business schedule. What, this? I was just wondering how to keep my hands busy. Get a little antsy if I sit around too long. What can I do you two? Or what can I do for you two? Yeah, let's ask about knives. Do you still have all those knives? Shredder grins, and a knife appears in the hand as if from thin air. What, you mean these little old things? Kira shoots you a look, tilting her head towards the knife. Look it over, it's far too small to have cut through the princess' neck. Shake your head at her. Okay. Brag about your own bigger knife. Yes. It's not diversely. That little thing, I picked my teeth with more threatening knives. Oh, everyone always goes for the big old meat cleavers or whatever. I mean, I guess those are fine, but I prefer something with more finesse, you know? Shredder balances the tip of the knife expertly on their finger, flicks their wrist, and then knife is gone. Why, was Alexander stabbed to death or something? Kira looks at you, frown tugging on her lips. Oh, something. Yeah. Okay, let's ask about the prince's blood supply. Provide blood for a lot of the city, right? Yes, sir. Oh, speaking of, let me get something real quick. Well, you can stop them. Shredder hops down behind the bar and heelys away. Bye, Shredder. Are they always this way? Do you not spend any time in Elysium? Usually in the apartment or on a job with Auric. Why, do you? Well, yeah. In other cities, Elysium is specifically for the prince to hold court. It may have more bells and whistles, but that's still what it's for. Come with Alexander to every court, and sometimes I'll spend time here before myself as well. I'll talk, listen, if there's anything of note, and bring it back to Prince Alexander. She is forgetting to correct herself. Yeah, whatever. Just say nothing. Anyway, yes, I spend a lot of time here. Shredder is always like this. I'm not trying to squirm out of anything. You really think they did? Yes, too early to tell yet. Kira sighs. I guess you're right. Can hide a lot behind the friendly face. And the back. As if on cue, Shredder steps around the corner and screeches to a halt behind the bar. In the hand is a small bag of blood. Rip it open, pouring it into a small glass. I want you to try this, Mikhail. Works taste, get a little archaic to source easily. And since you two like the same stuff for some reason, you do know you're suspected of tampering with the prince's blood supply right now, right? What? Well, damn, I guess it would be pretty dumb of you to drink this then. Just smell it if you... So I know you know whether to get more. Before you can respond, Shredder passes the shot glass under your nose. Uncle lasts only a moment before it's knocked back down by violent revulsion. Hand flies to cover your nose and you swallow vitae. What was that? Shredder glances to Kira, then leans in close enough that you only can hear. Instagram micro-influencer. She has like 20,000 followers. Do you think there's Is that she doesn't have enough clout, or does it have more to do with the generational wealth? Why did Oric trust you with this information again? She leans back into Kira's earshot. He didn't. He just kind of figured it out. He hasn't killed me for it yet. Probably because I'm, like, super charming, and because I haven't abused it for, what, has it been 50 years since I showed up? Show a micro-influencer and hops back onto the counter. Anyway, now that that's over, you were accusing me of tampering with the one thing keeping me from being run out of town, right? Pretty serious. I thought Breen would have at least waited until she's officially a prince before throwing her weight around like that. It wasn't Breen. We came up with that list of suspects ourselves. Oh, well, I guess this will be a little harder to disprove than usual. Someone actually sensible thought I might be responsible. Yeah, do you have any access to poisons? Shredder cackles. Poisons? Like what Breen is? The only way she'd let me anywhere near that stuff is she was putting it in me. What about whatever it is you do to the blood you give to people? Now that is a trade secret. I would say that I don't know how to make my own poison blood, but I can exactly prove that, can I? Here, let me just... Kira? Yes? You got some of that, right? What? No. No, pretty sure you do. Prove to me you don't. Kira pauses, throwing her brows. I can't. Shredder spreads their arms out, having proven their point. Okay. Shredder's paused. You're part of the Sabbath, correct? Shredder cocks their head towards you, easygoing smile turning toothy. Sure was. Though if you're gonna hold that against me, you might want to start pointing fingers at your sire, too. We just want to make sure that we cover all the bases, Shredder. Want to know the truth, that's all. Some of the edges leave Shredder's voice. They relax back into their place on the counter. Right. I know you do, Kira. Can't say I'd be entirely forthcoming about the gory details, but I'll tell you what I can. Okay, why did you join the Sabbath? Shredder shrugs. Bunch of infernalists rolled into town one day, killed the people I was hanging with. You know, that kind of thing. Next thing I know, some Sabbath Inquisitors are kicking down the door before demon fuckers could kill me too. Like, Jesus, the demons aren't going to love you back, fucking tryhards. Anyway, seemed like the right thing to do to join them. What can I say? We all make bad decisions when we're young and angry. And that's definitely true, but anyway, what did you do for the Sabbath? You know, lots of murder, mostly. Infernalists, usually. Infestations of them everywhere. You don't sound like it bothers you. Shredder was with Kira with a look. You ever met an infernalist, Kira? I can't say I have. Well, first of all, you're welcome. I still do that kind of thing for Alex from time to time. Did, I guess. But second of all, for the Sabbath's many, many flaws, it's got one thing going for it. A hard stance against the infernalists, and a group of people dedicated to stamping them out. More of an infection than they are people. I don't agree with a lot of what Sabbath stands for, but the treatment of infernalists wasn't one of those things. Still isn't. Me and Oric took a couple of cults together, back when I first showed up. Good times. You and Oric? He said you two don't talk much. Oh, did he? I guess he's right. Not much reason for him to pay attention to a random Inquisitor. But I was pretty interested in him. I mean, not every day some can blows up his whole life to get bloodbound to hell and back by the Sabbath. Tried to ask him why he did it, but weirdly, it seemed like a sore subject or something. Which means I should probably stop talking about it. That's his business to tell you when he's ready. Anyway, though, that's about it for what I did. I was real good at it, and the Sabbath rewarded me for it. Sucks for them that ended up hating their gods. Okay, and then why did you leave them? You know how it is. Join a cult and you spend the next however many decades slowly learning to regret it. The time Alex showed, I'd been itching to ditch for a while. Ark defected, and I took that as my cue to hop on over, too. It was a real brave thing he did. He was blood bonded to the Archbishop in charge of the whole city, and he still fought through it to help Alex. Help everyone, really. Yeah, weren't you blood bonded? Shredder's experience shuddered slightly. Everyone in the Sabbath gets blood bound. Helps ensure loyalty. Doesn't seem like it ensured yours. Most loyalties have their boundaries. I'm gonna bring myself to offer anyone to get free, but that doesn't mean I didn't want out. Alex helped. I couldn't have left without him. Did he bond you to him after his takeover? Nope. Alex was just a really nice guy. Told him how I felt about being bonded again, and he expected that. Gotta admit, can't say it was a smart move, but Alex was always more kinda smart. Wish it worked out for the better for him. Okay, and yet you joined Alexander for the convenience? Convenience, desperation, that kind of thing, I guess. And the prince allowed that? Oh, Kira, you know Alex. Guys are bleeding out. I told him my whole deal, and he said he'd keep me in the court in exchange for a couple of things. House cleaning assignments every now and then. Obviously, also me not. You know, stabbing him in the back. Hunting Infernalists is the only reason I joined the Sabbath anyway, so it seemed like a pretty sweet deal. That all you got for me? Just a couple more things, and I think we're done. Okay, let's ask about Orlag. What are your thoughts on Orlag? First mostly and conspiratorially. Well, did you know he was a prince once? That really all anyone knows about him? Not everyone. I, for instance, know he paints. He paints? Yep, keep him all in the drawings. I never see him myself, but my Norse friend tells me he's real good. He's the one I gotta keep an eye on a few times he's here, though. Usually he keeps to himself, but sometimes he'll challenge someone to a game. Sometimes it's kinda intense. Never had to break anything up with him, but he's got a way of rallying up others sometimes. Other times, he's a peach. He's a Primogen. Lives in his clan. Think he could break up a fight with him? Shredder glances to Orlog, lying in the booth. Orlog knows this, and Shredder waves cheerleading to him. I've taken out Primogen before. Age doesn't mean too much against these people, and a surprise stake in the back. Not that I think I'll ever have to. Orlog knows how to keep a low profile. Not sure if he killed Alex though. Seems pretty wrapped up in his clan for now. I mean, he just seems wrapped up in general. Anyway, maybe one day he'll want a city again, but he just doesn't seem interested in this one. Not right now, at least. Okay, what about Breen? How do you feel about Breen? What, the lady angling to be made prince as we speak? One that wants any excuse to get rid of me? She's great. Couldn't ask for a better, probably future boss. Shredder, you know you won't tell her, right? It's important you know you can speak your mind. Huh, you sound just like him, Kira. Yeah, right, you just want to know if I think she'll kill Alex, right? Right. Shredder pauses, kicking their feet and humming tunelessly as they think. Breen is against basically everything that made Alex a good prince. She's got no tolerance, no mercy, no nothing. Not to throw her under the bus like she'd do for me, but she respects the rules too much. Sure you guys know that one. The rule about not killing a prince is a pretty big one. It rings a bell. Well, Breen will even do what I say if it's in Elysium. Make no mistake, she gonna wring his death out for all the power she can get from it. Like some kind of fucked up vulture. Just because she'll abuse the hell out of the situation doesn't mean I think she made it happen. Kira looks over to you. Anything else? That's everything I can think of. Do you have anything? Kira shakes her head. Well, if you think of anything else, you know where to find me. Unless Breen gets to me first, then you'll probably have to find me at a public execution or something. And Kira, I meant what I said. once you don't have to worry about poison blood, it's on the house for you. I still remember your favorite type. Have some ready. Thank you, Shredder. Okay, he seems like a pretty alright guy. Okay, what about Orlok? Let's go talk to him. Orlok sits at a comfortable table in the corner of the room. He squats in badges that obscure the grotesque features typical of the Nosferatu clan. He wears it with a certain pride that benefits his agent station as Primogen. He has been watching you carefully, and as you approach, he sets a small chessboard. His size is humble, his items are not complex, but you can tell that the woodwork on it has nothing short of masterful. It's a simple, beautiful work of art. When he speaks, his voice is broken and jagged with a heavy German accent. And so, the hounds have come for me. I am honored. Care to join me for a game? Let Kira play. I think she is the smarter one of the two of us. Sure. Kira sits down to play as you begin asking questions. Okay, yeah, here you're the oldest. And where have you heard that? Here and there. So what? Are you? Perhaps. To tell the truth, I do not share the Camilla's obsession with age. I've seen men far younger and wiser than you be crushed for insulting men far older and more deeply foolish than you could fathom. So, in the end, if I have the answer you seek, does it matter? I suppose not, but you must have some stories. Well, grins at your choice of words. Messiah enjoyed stories more than I always preferred histories. Okay, then tell me about the Kako. This really necessary? I think so. Want to see what he's got. Orlok's grin grows wider, before he seems to be distracted by the game and returns to his cold demeanor. Krakow, at one time, was the capital of all Poland, vital to the Holy Roman Empire. Princes would come and go, until the Sabbath came along with the Nazis. The Nazis? Those were dark times. Europe's kindred showed some of their darkest and most noble impulses during those times. They are kindred to be ashamed of, and kindred to be proud of. But I assure you, Sabbath, Camilla, Anarch, the Second Great War was man's folly. Do not wish to speak of it further. Right, go on then. When the Sabbath came, Oric was an important venture in the city. Turned on his prince and gave him up to the Sabbath. Took the city in a single evening without a fight. Almost no one was killed, except for the prince. Orlok nods. Oric was unsatisfied with those times. I've spoken to him a few times about them, and he refuses to speak of the prince he betrayed. I believe that, whatever his reasons, that betrayal hurt him far deeper than most suspect. He does, however, talk quite openly about his hatred of the Sabbath and the Reach. Good reason. Pathetic, brainless slime. A lot of them. Here. When the Iron Curtain fell on the Sabbath in the city alongside the blade of Alexander, who wrestled them out with a series of brilliant tactical strikes. Those were the days in which I arrived. How did Oric end up as sheriff? It is hard for an ex-Sabbath to become Camarilla in the best of conditions, let alone a proven traitor. But our fallen prince was fond of second chances, for better or for worse. I suspect that Oric did the same to Sabbath as he did to his former master. Alexander gave no other blood bonds, as long as I knew him. So perhaps bonding Oric was his form of insurance. Time will tell if it worked. Sound like you suspect him? No. Okay, what's your opinion on the other suspects? Let's talk about Shredder. Shredder, what an odd creature. Not my first ravenous, was certain not to be my last. I enjoy their antics when I'm not the victim of their games and jokes, No doubt they are genius with their snack packs. But they have the second most impressive information network in the city, following only my own, and they seemingly use it for nothing more than deeply trivial revelations. Things that no one else could know, but are entirely unhelpful. Not to mention they are ex-Sabbath, in a way far more dangerous than Auric ever was. More dangerous than Auric? Them? Gestured across the room to Shredder, sitting upside down in a chair, kicking his feet lazily. Oleg simply nods. Yeah, I have reason to believe that Shredder was at one time a Sabbath Inquisitor. Inquisitor, like the SI? 9. The Sabbath's rampant bloodlust and hedonism leads to many dark roads, one of the most dangerous in which is infernalism, demon worship. Immediately tense up at the mention of infernalists, though you understand why. Kira simply looks on confused. What, like Satanists? Much more than that, my dear. Infernalists are the boogeyman's boogeyman, and they are one composite the Sabbath would never risk. Some of their most clever and most dangerous agents become Inquisitors. They are thrown into some of the most dangerous and gruesome labyrinths in our dark little world. And Shredder excelled. Do you have proof of this? 9. But I will say, back in 99, Prince lost 3 of his best agents to a horrific massacre that looked very much like an Infernalist massacre. We knew their agents had infiltrated our city, that if we didn't act swiftly, they could maintain a very powerful foothold. Next day, Shredder disappeared, assigning me as a temporary Elysium keeper. For the next 4 weeks, 8 prominent kindred in the city vanished. Shredder returned to the Jews as casually as if they had only been gone one night. Never saw another sign of infernalism here. That makes Shredder very, very suspicious then. Okay, what about Breen? Breen is a rigid toad who will burn her own domain to the ground if it meant she could prove herself right. She has no place in this court. The sooner it is rid of her and ways, the better. Tell us how you really feel, why don't you? I look forward to the day when you have the power to feel more comfortable speaking your own mind as freely, Kira. Marvel at what wonderful insults you devise. As for Breen, I have nothing more to say. I have no doubt she will attempt to grab power with this tragedy. Yeah, Shredder said the same thing, so let's move on. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mikhail, but I'm a suspect because I'm here as a suspect, am I not? You are? Then might I suggest giving further pleasantries and getting to the meat of this conversation. Okay, let's do this. Okay, what did you meet with the prince about last night? Ah, I see. This explains why I'm here at all. Soon you found my book? Yes. And what do you think? What do you mean? Oleg seems disappointed. His broken jaw seems to bend incoherently into a slightly deeper frown. I thought it was clever. A joke, that is. Oleg's eyes flashed a Kira, milkingly and bloodshot behind the bandages. These frowned, twist into an equally subtle smile. So did your sire. To answer your question, however, I went to speak to him about changing our dynamics here in Krakow. That sounds that's pretty ominous wording. It is, isn't it? Still, I'd much rather avoid sharing what about. It can be at all be helped. It's a matter of security, after all. Isn't security Eric's job? Not this kind of security. Can't say I'm too happy with that answer. You are a suspect, after all. Oleg grins again. Contortions on your face goes through to accomplish it through the deep. Accomplish it make you deeply uncomfortable. I have faith the other evidence you'll find condemn or exonerate me regardless. Okay, how did you feel about the prince? In general, he was competent. That's it. Appreciate his unorthodox approach and his unwillingness to surround himself with and listen to experts more knowledgeable than him. Take it from me, boy. That is very rare. Something to say, my dear? Only that you're the only person I know that hasn't had some kind of strong opinion on him. He was controversial, to be sure, but that speaks more to my guilt or my innocence, I wonder. Do you think he could do a better job? Luke leans back as though deeply considering the question. Suspect it's disingenuous. Was a prince once, far from here. One day will be again. It only matter where and when, my dear. When that day comes, there'll be scores to sell. You have my word on that. Look at Kira, she doesn't look at you. Very, very ominous. Do you have blades? Found evidence that Cutting Edge was involved with the murder. Do you have access to such things? There's no point in asking. He's had his Jaeger claw on display since the moment you met him. I do 10 of them, in fact. I have little need for anything else. When I saw you last, you wore gloves. Must have forgotten them at home this evening. Hold them up to allow you to inspect them carefully. They are sharp enough to make the cuts you saw, but they're jagged in a way that makes the clean slices seem unlikely. Unlikely, but not impossible. Hey, when did you feed last? Relevance? There was a struggle with Alexander. Very clearly Alexander hurt his attacker. I see, so you're looking for someone attempting to heal from their injuries quickly. Fascinating approach, I quite like it. So? Of course. No offense since the murder. Stayed at a safe house last night, and I was cut off from my usual stash to Shredder's supply. Why does that matter? Because, my dear, I, just like our friend McKill here, have a particular type I prefer. And unlike our friend, constantly attend the nearest private venue or VIP section on a whim. Suddenly you feel a lurch of anger, mystery you in no small weight. He isn't supposed to know your type. How the hell do you... Kira puts a hand on your shoulder, and you meet your gaze. It's not much, but you're able to regain control of yourself. That's private. Apparently not. So he's definitely got informants somewhere. Okay, but do you have access to Schroeder's supply? I know where it is, but I have little interest in raiding it. Okay, finish the game. Two of them start to make their final moves. Oleg and Kira both go extremely quiet. Finally, Kira moves the bishop. Both of their eyes scan the board, checking and double checking. Well done, my dear. I play a lot. I suspect I'll play a lot less now. Yeah, I had a feeling she would be a good match. Perhaps you found a new partner instead. We'll see. Thank you for your time, Oleg. Any time, my dear. Thy friendship makes us fresh. Okay, we only gotta talk to Breen now. Although she's not gonna be too happy about this. Well, how goes the investigation, my hounds? Yeah, probably best not to insult her. Yeah, it's going well so far. Delighted to hear that. I'm sure you're moving in the right direction. What does Essential actually do? What do you do? Yeah. Did Darling Auric not inform you? I'm hurt. We've worked together so long, and I'd have thought that I'd be all he talked about. Talks about work mostly. I see. Well, Camarilla Essential is a prince's left hand. Take the prince's order and command their vision, and we make them reality. Manage politics, schools, wealth, and other resources so that the prince can focus their attention on other matters. And you preside as judge? Breen smiles wide. Not all Essentials enjoy that privilege, but Alexander thought that I'd be best equipped for that particular honor. Will you stand in judgment of our accused? Most likely, I assure you. They'll have a fair trial. You'll likely be prosecuting them with the evidence you've collected. That normal for the Camarilla? Rourke hasn't brought me along on any of the courtroom sessions before, but he mentioned that Alexander handles justice differently than a lot of the other courts. He'd be right. Most cities, the accused is brought to the prince and renders judgment right then and there. Sometimes with the approval of his court, other times without. Evidence can be taken into account, but oftentimes it is simply down to the word of someone the prince trusts, or what is most convenient for him. Alexander was different. He upheld that justice was unattainable if it wasn't as fair as possible. Possible being the operative word there. Without kind, it's impossible to provide every liability. Sometimes rights must be suspended. Otherwise, kindred abuse them. Kira nods and Breen grins. Okay, what are your thoughts on Prince Alexander? We didn't always agree, but he was a good leader. Strong, clever, and progressive. Breen smiles wide and sharp. Quite. Sure you're both aware that I lean more traditional. If I had my way, I've never seen a ravenous as keeper. Their ilk are untrustworthy at the best of times. No, I foresee some changes now that the prince is gone. I do intend to keep his justice system, however. The rest of the Camarilla would do well to adopt it. Okay, that's kinda good to know. What are your thoughts on Shredder? I'll admit, their blood work is simply masterful, but beyond that, they really just take up space at the court. Not much love for them then? The Ravenous? No. They're all nothing but reckless lawbreakers, tricksters and liars. That's not true. You should know better than anyone the effect that baseless rumors like that can have on our unity. Why, you do sound just like our dear deceased prince, don't you? Always trying to give the rabble a chance. Kira grits her teeth. Yeah, that's a scary look on it. You know how our wars have been fought. Information is everything, and prejudice. Don't speak to me about prejudice, Kira. Shredder is ex-Sabbath, and more than clan stereotypes to feel my distaste for them. The character is more than enough. What do you know about Shredder's Sabbath days? Not much. I know they killed a lot of people, often hurt them first. There's a reason they have been trusted as keeper, my dear. Don't let their statue fool you. I would not be surprised if they were the most dangerous person in this room. Yeah, I got that feeling when talking to Orlok. Yeah, speaking of Orlok, what's your thoughts on him? On Orlok? Oh, he's harmless. Kira raised an eyebrow. Harmless? More or less. He's got his means, certainly, and I've heard him claim once or twice that he's the eldest in his city, but ultimately he and his brood keep to themselves. I see. Did he get along with the prince? Better than some, worse than most. Orlok disapproved of a lot of Alexander's mercenaries. Or mercies. He was, of course, the biggest critic of our justice system, and the spinning of power between Auric and I. Who was he in favor of then? You or Auric? You know, I'm afraid I can't quite remember. Who shoots you a skeptical look? Do you think he might have cause to want the prince dead? Oh, I suppose, if he is the eldest, he would have a decent claim to the throne. And he's already squandered one princedom, and no intention of letting a low clan squander another. I see. Okay, let's move on. Do you use blades often? Breen freezes for a moment after you ask her that question. Her face rapidly is quickly replaced with an angry frown. Mikhail, am I a suspect? Okay, now she finally catches on. Look at Kira, she shrugs. Yes, you are one of the only three here who could have... He's not happy. Yeah, I figured this would happen. This is outrageous. I'm your elder by countless decades. How dare you accuse me of such things in my court? Your own court? Green just glares at at the both of you. The facade of charm has melted away. You have some nerve, you near-net hussy trash owl. Bree, you okay over here? I heard you screaming sanctimonious rage. I thought you might be upset. Bree's glare shifted ravenous, seemed to appear out of nowhere. I'm sure I don't have to remind you that we are still technically in Elysium. As such, the 5th tradition should be minded and obeyed at all times. After all, you wouldn't want the rule to be broken, would you, Lady Sensual? But moment Bree's beast flickers in her eyes. You and Kira both brace her to attack Shredder. Instead, clenches her fist tight and corrects her posture. Words come out icy. Ask your questions. Shredder winks at you and skates away on the heels of the shoes. Thanks, Shredder. Okay, yeah. Do you use blades often? You mean to ask what kind of blades I have access to, of course? Yes, what kind of blades? Bree scoffs again and opens her coat. There is a small knife with a 2-inch blade and a gold handle on the inside of her left lapel. Ceremonial ones, mostly. Bloodletting and like it is deeply important to the blood arts. I had to keep one on me for rituals, and I have a few others in my haven. Look at Kira, she holds impressive composure. You'll find that all my blades are capable of making the kind of wound you're looking for. Too short, too thin, too dull. He needs to be looking right at you. Yeah. Definitely don't want to get her on her bad side. Especially if she's going to be taking the prince's place. Okay, doesn't blood sorcery provide you with poisons? Yeah, what kind of benefits does blood sorcery typically provide? I'm afraid you'll have to be more specific. Blood sorcery can do almost anything with the right time and know-how. Like craft a poison capable of affecting kindred? Breen frowns. Yes, I won't deny that my clan has had history with that particular application of blood magic. We suspect the prince was poisoned, and as far as we can tell, you're the only one of our suspects who he has access to. Enough. I understand. There is no need for you to explain it to me. The dignity of a fledgling looking down to me is unbearable. Yes, I have a few concoctions at my haven which I could weaken the prince. I have them stored in my lab, but I lack his access to Shredder's blood bags. He was poisoned by a blood bag, wasn't he? We suspect so, yes. Charming. So someone could have stolen these poison and then done it, maybe? Yeah, he could have done this. Could have gotten access to Shredder's supply. Can't typically have that, does it not? I suppose, but... And I say you demonstrated good cause to warrant to frame Shredder. Now hold on. Speaks to... I said enough. You and Kira both freeze, looking at Bree. Status as hounds become a little shaky protection at best. Done fine work, both of you. Can't resent you for that. But I, same as the both of you, I hope, am dedicated to justice. Do not kill Alexander. Well, I'd love to have his seat, but I love that man. He was a good prince. Best I've had. Likely the best I ever will. She pauses. It's hard to tell if she has been genuine or simply putting her all into appearing so. Well, my advice is really look towards Shredder. I think they'll fit all your criteria more. Okay, are you the new prince then? I see. Myself and Orlok, potentially Auric, if he has the good sense to attempt it, though he has never seen such ambition. And you're acting prince until then? Well, yes, I am. So, what happens now? Now, remain prince only until the investigation is concluded. Once the culprit has been tried and punished, purging of the various clans will gather together and vote. Failing that, war, quiet war, assassinations, betrayals, blood on the streets. No one wants that. Even if you are elected. Even so, my day has come, I promise you that. Not worth any amount of death or chaos to bring it about sooner rather than later. And what about Ulrich? Bree seems genuinely caught off guard. What about him, dear? A heroic turncoat has his role and his place, and that's all. What is his place now that the prince is dead? Won't serve you while you're your prince. And you'd better solve this matter quickly, otherwise I may have to relieve him of his burden of responsibility. Pinches the bridge of her nose. Very tired of this. We'll speak to you later, Kira. Yeah, much to talk about. Hope Kira's gonna be okay. I think that's everyone. After you do investigations with Auric, the two of you always talk over what you learned for the day. Make sure you're on the same page. Usually it's short. You and him know each other's minds so well by now that it's more going through the motions than anything. But you and Kira are working together for the first time. You need to understand one another. So, who will you ask about first? Okay, well, I reckon we talk about Breen first, because, yeah, that was an interesting conversation. So, Breen. Do you not want to talk about Breen? Right. Look, the situation is complicated enough with Breen and Auric, so I'll be frank and brief. Do not like Breen, but also don't think she did it. Got the motive, but I think if she was to do it, she wouldn't have been so surprised or outraged that she was a suspect. Not saying that we should trust her, but I don't think she did it. Happy? Not really. Not have much choice and options. I know when to drop something. For now. Good. Yeah, I have a feeling that somebody may have stolen something from her to be able to do the poisoning thing. And then did the blood supply. Could have been Shredder, because, yeah, they're talking about how extremely violent he is. So, and with the colonies that was in the room, yeah, I suspect Shredder at least. But let's talk about Orlick first. Orlick seems like deeply dangerous social engineer. I'm gonna say a lot, but honestly works too. What do you make of him? As a suspect, there's a lot to go on, but by his nature, Orlick has covered his tracks well. It will be extremely difficult to prove anything related to him. Yeah, I think he's working an angle. Orlick seems to me that be the kind of person who always working something. I think he said to us came with a cost-benefit analysis, meaning that anything he gave us tonight is suspect. Things he sees every move we're going to make before we made it. Regardless, we need to stay vigilant with that one. Agreed. Now, what about Shredder? Not sure what to think. He seemed to have the means of accessing the prince's blood supply. They have enough contacts to get their hands on poison even without being able to make it themselves. They outright said that they'd taken out Primogen before, but on own admission, they would be perfectly capable of killing him. But I still don't see the motive. Shredder said it themselves. The accident gone, they're in danger of being run out of town. Worse. Yeah, that is a good point. Now we know that that's not an exaggeration here. After talking with Breen, Shredder did it's because they had something else up their sleeve. Which wouldn't be out of character considering what we know about them. Could you talk it over with Auric? I know I'm supposed to be reporting back to Breen, but I don't see her being helpful. Not with Shredder, and definitely not now that she knows she's a suspect. Exactly. What does your gut tell you, though? I don't think they did it. Hear what they called Breen? I didn't really take much notice. Exactly. Called her Bray to her face. And switched back to Breen when she wasn't around. But the prince was Alex. Always Alex. Could be an act. It could be. What do you think? Yeah, trust your gut. Might be wrong, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't listen to your instincts. A lot of reasons to suspect Shredder, but if something tells you they didn't do it, it's worth keeping in mind too. Thank you for trusting me, Mikkel. Okay, on to night 2 now. Yep. You returned home earlier than you anticipated. Still the dead night, and the steady stream of giggling, stumbling humans from the bar down the block has yet to die down. Your beast was a little more unruly tonight than you would like. Check the fridge for a spare blood bag to calm it. There's enough left for now, but you're on your way to running out. You have to get more from Shredder soon. Thought is second nature, but this time it catches you off guard. Will we get more from Shredder? Will that even be an option soon? You're not sure. It would help to talk it out with Auric, but with him still out doing whatever he's doing tonight, still a little to occupy yourself with. The book he's been reading last night is still on the table though, right where you set it down. Pick it up a little familiar under the cold patch of your fingers. Ah, yeah, let's find the scene from our dream. That might be useful. Your fingers fan through the pages until you find a spot that feels right. When you open the page, you realize you didn't know what you were expecting. Definitely weren't expecting to actually find the scene. Not the exact right page, but the words call back to your dream yesterday. Sitting down on the stairs in that fussy, hazy room, and reading what seemed like hours. That phrasing is unfamiliar, but the broad strokes of the plot unveil themselves in your memory as soon as you keep going. Have you read this before? Don't remember doing it, but it is one of Auric's favorites. Maybe you read it when you were first embraced. Maybe your memory was weaker than you thought back then. You only meant to sit down for a moment, but before you know it, you put a good chunk of pages behind you. Join the book and attack. Jolt halfway to your feet before you recognize the voice. Auric, obviously. Jumping tonight, are we? Even after you know you're safe, the beast thrums in your veins like it's expecting a fight. I didn't hear you come in. You taste the air clinging to Auric's clothes. The beast flinches you away before you can think. Why do you smell like fire? Oh? Got too close to one of those bonfires on the lakeshore, I guess. Is it that bad? I can change. No, it's wrestle the beast down as best as you can. Just fed. Why is it acting up so violently? I'll be fine. Why were you at the lake? For my tip, nothing too important. On the way back, I checked in with Breen. Do you know what's happening tomorrow night? No, should I? I thought not. You told me that you named a suspect. Shredder. Yeah, we definitely didn't fucking say that. God fucking damn it. What? No, that can't be right. Yet I don't have a motive. Sure, they had the means to do it, more than any of the other suspects, but you can't find a motive. President Alexander was the only thing keeping Shredder safe. They seemed genuinely content with their role. If I were them, I would have at least gone up to Bree's life first. Shredder isn't stupid. They know Alexander's death put them in a precarious position. Well, whatever Kira told Breen, that's apparently not how it sounded to her. Kira's slated to play prosecutor tomorrow night. Makes no sense. I asked Kira not even 2 hours ago. She said she didn't think they did it. The evidence is stacked against Shredder, sure, but I asked her, like you always ask me, and she said, well, Mick, evidence aside, like a murder's aside, what about your gut feeling? Do you think Shredder's the killer? Yeah, I don't think so. Like, he's got something going on, but I highly doubt it was him. Not highly doubt it, but I don't think so. I don't think they did. They're most likely culprit on paper, but taking them, I don't know. I agree with Kira. Or at least I agreed with Kira. What the hell is she doing? I think we both know what this looks like. Came back to report to me, and Kira reports back to Breen. Whether Shredder's guilty or not, that's not what this trial is about. Precisely, it's just Breen making a play for power. Even if Shredder did kill Alexander, nothing good can come on convicting him on Breen's terms. Joe tomorrow night will be to defend him as well as you can. Maybe you won't be able to exonerate them fully, but at the very least you need to prove to the court that further investigation is necessary before condemning Shredder to final death. As it is now, there's no way to make a solid conviction, a wrongful conviction. And that will accomplish is giving Breen her way. And Shredder is taking the fall while the real killer gets away. Yes. Oryx sits down across from you, sighing. Nick, I know you're going to do well tomorrow night. Have the heart of a leader, and a way of commanding a room when you set your mind to it. Going to have have the entire court hanging on your words. I will. Sure. Let's have some confidence. Oh yeah. Give Oryx a confident grin. Of course I will. Learn from the best, after all. Oryx chuckles. Do you remember when you were first embraced? We're sentimental tonight, are we? Something like that. Think back. Briefly, the hazy room from your dreams intrudes. Goes to a piercing sensation in your neck. Ecstasy burning through your veins and leaving weakness in its wake. It's always how you imagine embrace would have felt like. Truthfully, you don't remember it. As you would learn in the nights following it, the embrace obliterated all memories of your mortal life. All you remember from that night is... let's go, we were in somewhere dark. Caves, I think. I still don't know why I was down there. I'm just glad you found me before I died. Maybe taking me back here and giving me one of Shredder's blood bags. How did you know I was there? I would have the same restriction as you anyway. Bert chuckles. Lucky guess, I suppose. It was either that or Sarah Ravenous fledging loose on the sea until we found something you could eat. Yeah, I would at least try what I had at home first. Restlessness to Oryx that's unfamiliar to you. Eventually you wanted for his questions, it seemed like you haven't given it to them. Yeah, something wrong? No, not at all. Just lost in thought is all. Not sure if I've ever told you how grateful I've been to have you in my life. After the Sabbath during even, I was always alone. Don't think I realized how much I missed having company until you. Oryx, are you sure everything's alright? Not usually one for this much sentiment, even with me. Am I not? No, I guess not. Forgive me then. Maybe it's the murder is all. Knew I extended for decades, and though Shred and I didn't know each other well, they're the only other person in the city who can understand certain parts of my past. One is dead, one might be dead soon. Suppose it just has me thinking. Don't want my own fate to catch me off guard without having told you how much you meant to me. Well, let's recuperate. Well, since we've been honest, I feel the same way. May not remember my mortal life, but you found my body abandoned in a cave. Whatever it was like, it couldn't have been that good if it ended like that. In the 2 years since then, you've always been by my side. You could have just easily abandoned me or cut me loose, but you haven't. Maybe this isn't the way you're supposed to think of a sire, but you felt like a brother to me, Oryx. Oryx smiles at you fondly. Opens his mouth to respond, but his eyes flick to the clock on the firewall and one. Still a while until dawn, but you should go over your case before you go for day sleep. Breen is smart. Want you as prepared as possible for anything she throws at you. So, what are you thinking for your opening statements? You and Oryx stay up into the early hours of the morning, discussing strategy and trying to anticipate what Breen plans to throw you away the next night, until the warmth of the impending sunrise is seeping through the walls. You and Oryx both find against the pull to rest that you'll finally part ways. Assuming we're gonna dream again? Yep, here we are. Warm sun washes onto your face, but doesn't burn. There's no beast howling just underneath your skin, demanding that you move. Honey warmth is unfamiliar, yet it feels second nature. Hand falls upon your shoulder, and you turn to face your friend. Sunlight glints off their hair. What color is it? What is their name? Can't tell. Your friend's face is blank void in your mind's eye. When they speak, their voice is the same way. You hear the words, but there's no timbre or pitch to it. Blank slate. So this is where you've been going every day. It's beautiful. How did you manage to get such a prestigious job? My employer admires dedication above all else. Huh. Well, you have that in spades. If you like. Ask him if you could be hired on as well. Tonight. A big commitment, but I think I can make a difference here. We can make a difference together. If you're willing. Run across your arm, takes hold of your hand. You know I'll follow you anywhere. Just say the word. That you pull him into an embrace. Oh, how wholesome. Soon shifts and the room darkens into a familiar shroud of the night. Sensation in your friend's chest rising and falling now feels alien against your dead, still lungs. Blood rushes in his veins, heart pounding wildly in your predator's ears. Are you sure? One last chance, you don't regret your choice. Don't want him to either. I already said I'd follow you anywhere. Pulls you in tighter. Forever, right? You were left to bleed out on your own before your side turned you. He doesn't deserve to feel his life seep out slow and cold. Thanks extend, fighting back your revolution for his common blood. Forever. That was an interesting dream. Okay, now on to night 3, and we're in the courtroom. I have at court earlier than necessary. Mindful arguing that extra time means extra opportunity to adapt. Something tells you you'll need all the help you can get tonight. As you make your way through the entrance, you see Kira leaning against the wall, deep frown painted on her face. Kira shuffles away uncomfortably. Can't imagine you were waiting around this doorway for fun, so if you want to say something to me before the trial, now is your chance. Okay. You start to move away, but Kira grabs you by the shoulder. Gentler than you would expect. No emotion of hostility, just an attempt to keep you from leaving. I just want to say good luck. It's not how I would like this to go down. Right. Yeah, thanks, Kira. Press onward to the courtroom. Yeah, there's Breen. As you enter the court, you find Breen standing on a raised platform above the rest of the hall. Definitely love the music for this. Looking around on both sides, a dozen kindred you recognize as influential in the city, each of them deeply important to how efficiently it runs. Below them, Shredder sits lazily in a chair, kicking their feet and playing an aged handheld gaming device. Across from your position in the courtroom, Kira sits, going over her notes, avoiding your gaze. Difficult to read what any of them are thinking. Kudra Krakow, I thank you for agreeing to meet us on such short notice, but I think you'll understand the gravity of the situation. Our Sheriff Ark has, by virtue of his hounds, granted us our accused. Shredder, you stand accused of the murder of our prince. In accordance with Alexander's law, you now face trial. How do you plead? Hump Milky. What? Assume you know the consequences of a guilty verdict, Shredder. You're taking this seriously as you should. Dude, it's a trial after a single day of investigation, are you? Thought you were all kind of aware that thing was a farce. Should I be pretending it's not, or... If that's the case, not guilty, obviously. Very well. Tonight, the accused has been defended by Mikhail, Hound of Krakow, prosecuted by Kira, the Christian Hound of Krakow. Acting prince, I'll be starting as judge. With all that out of the way, let justice be found. Scan the kindred in attendance. You spot Orlog watching you carefully from an elevated position, but no sign of Ulrich. He's acting so strange last night. Where could he be? Kira, your opening remarks. Kira rolls her neck and her shoulders back before addressing the court. Kundra Krakow, our former Elysium keeper, stands accused of one of the highest crimes, murder of Camarilla Prince. Prince's murder would have had to have the skill, the strength, and the means to poison and assassinate him. They would have had to have access to the prince's personal blood supply, access to poison capable of affecting our kind, and a technical ability to not just combat Alexander, but to move undetected through the building. Schrader meets all those criteria. Little doubt that the court will be convicted of that crime by the end of this evening. Very good, my dear. Now, Mikhail, you may proceed. This would be hard enough if you only had to battle Kira in this. To keep afloat, you'll have to contend with Kira while conveying whatever Kerbal is bringing through you as well. You have to be careful. 15 points. First to 15 points, Mikhail. Remember the early days after your embrace. Days you were still trying to cope with the loss of your mortal memories. Taught you fencing. Enemy will be fast. You must be faster. Your mind even sharper than your blade. Retreat, but do not lose ground. Advance, but never overextend. Do you understand? Yes, I understand. On guard. Okay, I think I'll start with this first one, because the other two, yeah, I don't think I should just barrel straight into it, so there's a piece missing from this puzzle. Kindred the court. Something is wrong here. Yeah, I want to hear facts, not feelings, so Kira and I did our duty as hounds, under very difficult circumstances. We set ourselves on a trail that led us to our killer. There's little doubt of that. But what is in doubt is exactly how Shredder was involved in this. True, they had the means and the opportunity, but Shredder is severely lacking in motive for this killing. Alexander designed these courts to provide justice in his domain. Anything less than that is a disgrace to his memory, disgrace to the prosperity he brought up to Krakow. So please, pay very close attention to what happens tonight. Thank you, Mikhail. Statement Volunteer, you wouldn't be able to tell. Rena is in her elements here, playing on her game board. Kira, darling, please examine the witness. Kira walks confidently over to Shredder. Shredder, how long have you been in Krakow? More than a few decades. Rolled into town in 73. But the Sabbath still ruled the town? Yeah, it was a pretty big bummer, honestly. The Sabbath go on and on about why and who and how many, but honestly, I think they're just looking for an excuse not to try. What do you mean by that? Well, say what you will about the Camarilla, or even the Anarchs, but at least trying. They're building something, or holding on to something, or fighting for something, right? And the Sabbath don't? Nah, they ask you to do this or that, they'll tell you why you were justified in doing it, killing whoever, breaking yourself to do it. Then they ask you to do it again, and again, and again. I think the Sabbath think it's easy to just give up. Be it about us cruel dirtbags we're all capable of being, just really let loose on themselves and others. It's like they don't really want to be anything more than a monster. That's very interesting, coming from someone who was with them for such a long time. How did you join the Sabbath? Okay, I don't like the music just slightly cut out there. This is bad. Sabbath is a very touchy subject with the Camarilla. Kira is able to apply enough pressure to the stigma around that and Shredder's clan. But Kira has some pretty openly that she doesn't believe in that kind of prejudice. She wouldn't, would she? Did a lot of bad things for them, did you not? Yeah, I don't like talking about it much. I mean, I do bad things for the camp too, but it was different for the Sabbath. Did you have to hurt people? We all hurt people, Kira. Or phrase that, did you hurt Kindred? Well, yeah. How did you do it? Aren't very imposing, traditionally speaking, are you? Well, no, I have access to potents, and potents? Not useful for a ravenous, is it? Kira sees where this is going. You do too. Going to ask me how I got potents, yeah? I won't waste your time. Sabbath have a ritual called that. It's a mutual blood bond between members of a pack. Everyone develops a bond. I see. I imagine that meant to ensure loyalty, is it not? Yes. To ensure yours? If it did, I wouldn't be here, would I? I wonder about that. let's move on. This is bad. This is bad. Very bad. You have a workshop in Elysium grounds, do you not? Yeah, my lab. About 10-minute walk to the Prince's study? Well, 5-minute walk and a 5-minute elevator ride. I see. And the cameras were out of here in Elysium from 3:15 AM to 4:50 AM. In your opinion, do you have the skill and means to make it to the Prince without being detected in that amount of time? Well, yeah, but do you, in your opinion, have the skill to take down the Prince under normal circumstances? No, of course not. Shredder hasn't been set up, but you do. Kira set a fine trap. Shredder has already sprung it. Oh, do you not face targets of equivalent or greater strength while you were with the Sabbath? How did you defeat them? Shredder sees it now. Lack of disappointment on their faces, heartbreaking. Kira. Curious will answer the question, darling. Careful preparation and planning. I'd figure out ways to stack the deck in my favor. Can you give examples? Kira's voice is tight and controlled. She's having any doubts about what she is doing here. She is showing no sign of cracking. Well, since methods of making me stronger can only go so far, usually try to make them weaker, blind them, trick them into going somewhere alone, or poison them. But something that worked to do that? Yeah. I see. Kira crosses the floor, watching the crowd. She scans it carefully for something, then looks confused. Looks them all over again before cocking her head and returning to Shredder. Do you think you had the skill to have killed the Prince Alexander, who were crippled by poisoning? Yeah, but... And isn't it true that the blood in Alexander's personal supply came directly from your lab? No, I mean, I don't... Are you certain? After all your logbook says... I don't know if someone tampered with them beforehand, or after. So I sometimes sits for days or weeks in cold storage before being supplied. Someone had told you that in your Inquisitor days. Would you have believed them? Unga is very quiet. Watch Shredder carefully. A small fang smile forms on their face. Heh, no. I guess I wouldn't, huh? Kira nods at Shredder. Thank you. No further questions at this moment, Lady Sentinel. Point, Kira. I couldn't not have possibly gone worse. Kira set up a pretty tight web. Thrashed too much. You might just get tangled in it more. You want to get Shredder out of this, at least for a short term, this is going to need a surgical precision. Mikhail, you have the accused. Step to face Shredder. Smile gently at you and nod. Okay, I don't think asking him about what he thinks of Breen is gonna do anything. Okay, what did you do for Alexander? Shadow, we established you've been in Krakow since the 70s, right? What? Dark times for me, honestly. How long were you with the Sabbath? I think around 20 years. How long did you serve Alexander? 33 years in November. So you've been with the Camilla longer than the Sabbath. I haven't been with the Camilla. Been with Alexander. Elaborate on that? She looks at you for a moment before grinning widely. I understood what you're going for. Well, I'm not sure if you're aware of the Camilla's general stance on my clan, but we usually aren't trusted with anything important, if we're allowed in the city at all. Why's that? Clan run Ravenous has filled a lot of rules over the time, but we had a bad reputation for, like, all that time, and a little bit of space too. Been called liars, fanatics, tricksters, and reckless daredevils. Now you know we're the fun ones. Let's walk back a bit. You said Ravenous weren't trusted with important things most times. What kind of important tasks did Alexander trust you with? Well, a few. For one, my special juice mix makes blood bags durable and tasty far beyond their normal limits. Back in '08, he even served an 8th gen one of my mixes, and he was able to stomach it pretty well. He barely rushed at all. There were the more delicate functions. I served as keeper of the Elysium since '94. It's a fun job. I get to keep people excited and entertained, happy and comfortable while they wait to meet the prince. Occasionally I get to scare the hell out of them when they act out. Scare them? Why would they be frightened of you? Probably because of my ex-Sabbath days. She looked over to Kira. Kira helped establish I did some freaky stuff for them. Had to hunt and hurt people. Some really bad people. Really dangerous people. Guess that makes me bad and dangerous too, huh? Did you stop doing that when you joined up with Alexander? No, they'd pop up every once in a while, and Alexander would give me free rein to go on. Yeah, the details aren't related for a polite company. So, what motive did you have for killing Alexander? Shredder perks up a bit. None, I suppose. What did you stand to gain? Nothing. I'm not getting a high position. In fact, if Bree comes to the new prince, I actually stand to lose a lot. I was set for life under Alexander, wasn't I? Court devolves into murmurs. Enough, Mikkel. Assume you're ready to move on? Tried to think of another point to me. You've sown some doubt, but you're far from proving them innocent. With Breen as judge, nothing sure that is going to win this. Yes, Lady Essential. Good. We can call a 20-minute recess before you and Kira will bring a conflict. Dismissed. Take a deep breath and collect your thoughts. This is bad. Gain some ground back and advance, but Kira still has a strong lead over me. Need to be able to attack them back if I want to win this. Without something more concrete, without evidence, all I can do is tread water. 20 minutes isn't long enough to find something new. All I can do is hope to pull something out of the conversation, while fighting Kira at the same time. This is impossible. Oh, hi. Trying to find yourself face to face with Orlog. Might I have a word, Mikkel? Sure, of course. I was hoping you would allow me to offer you some advice. Can't see how it could possibly make things worse. By all means. Orlog reaches into his robe and pulls out a book. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I find this book very comforting in times of prejudice, largely about a brave lawyer standing up against an impossible trial. Sounds brave. How does that go for him? He loses, of course. I see. Possible to stand against impossibility. But then again, grins gently, many things seem impossible to me once. Good luck, Atticus. Before you have time to respond, he walks away as casually as if he had never spoken at all. Spent the rest of recess skimming through the book. Hounds, are we ready to continue? Yes, my lady. Continue to fumble through the pages. Mikhail? Oh. Close the book hesitantly. Yes, Lady Essential. Good, let's finish this. It's the last phase of the trial and the conflict. Defense and the prosecution both unleash themselves in open debate. Sure remains present, but here is where the battle with Kira really begins. Kira watches you carefully across from the way. Let's not waste any more time, Mikkel. The fact of the matter is simple. Shredder is the only one who could have pulled off this murder. Had the skill, the power, and the preparation. They were here at the time of the murder and are one of the only people who could have possibly poisoned Alexander's blood. Okay, yeah, trying to get our personal feelings into this is probably not for the best, so let's go with but they have no motive. They have no motive, Kira. Alexander's murder wouldn't have benefited them in the slightest. It's only true Shredder is not, in fact, a Sabbath agent. The simple, unfortunate truth of the matter is that Shredder held one of the most brutal positions in the Sabbath. You don't just lead the Sabbath like nothing. It's true, my dear. After all, many of us have known exactly what kinds of things the Sabbath do, kinds of things they would make their own do. Do not just join the Sabbath on a whim. Anyone who believes you can leave it on a whim, as well as simply asking for their own demise. Contraintendents all talk. Whispers turn to hushed tones turn to chatter. Breen makes no motion to stop it. Point Breen. Shredder has the most combat experience of anyone in court, and they're no strangers to poison deception. Cannot be trusted. There is nothing to be gained and everything to lose in trusting them and their kind. Other kindred voices grew louder, mostly from what you tell in agreement. Damn it. There's no evidence you can provide, then I have no choice but to conclude this trial. Ah, shit. Yeah, there has to be something. We're not gonna let it go. Glance down at the book all I gave you. Waiting to got it to kill a mockingbird? Messages in the books? Let's check it out violently. Let's flip through the book again. Quickly flip through the pages, desperately looking for any sign of a message. I know anything that could help you here. That's when you find it. 6 pages have been hollowed out during the climax of the book, glued together in a place, a roll of film. I made the film from the book, unroll it and hold it up to the light. Film seems to be a series of hundreds of individual photographs, each one with a small time stamp at the bottom right corner. Each stamp is labeled nearly 5 minutes apart, 3:15 to 4:50, on the night of the murder. Each and every photo, Shredder is present. The background seems to be their lab. Scan over each frame carefully. This is it. This is my counterattack. Objection, Lady Sensual. Parry. I do have definitive proof that Shredder could not have committed this crime. You do? Yeah, I was saving it for the last moment. I do. I've been waiting to bring it up before until absolutely necessary. Toss a roll of film to Kira and she catches it effortlessly. On that roll of film from a hidden camera inside Shredder's lab within the Elysium building. Find them working there in around 5-minute intervals. I'm sorry, what? Kira inspects the roll of film in the same way you did. Eyes go wide. The exact intervals are randomized, but the longest interval I can find is around 6 minutes. Kira, it was you yourself that told me that it would take several minutes to get from any of the suspect's locations to the prince's study, even if it were moving at different speeds. If that's true, then how would Shredder be able to make it to Alexander and fight him in the time remaining? The footage could have easily been tampered with. This is ridiculous. I won't. Kira slams her hand on her desk, whispers ever so slightly. No, this kind of film is not so easy to edit, especially not on short notice. If it was tampered with, it would have left some kind of sign. And not here. Days could be off. If it was set on a timer, there is no guarantee that it was synced up to what it claims to be synced to. Wrong, Breen. She glares at you with all the hatred in the world. Kira, look at the last photo on the roll. Kira rolls as you do and her eyes go wide. Look familiar? It's me. I'm in this one. You told me 2 nights ago you arrived at Elysium around 4:50 that night, right? She nods. Photos stand at 4:49. She can confirm that you stopped in to see Shredder at that time. I did. I stopped by to pick up a nightcap. Can you confirm, Shredder? She came to see me, alright? I have it logged in my logbook. Good to have you back on our side of Angels, Kira. Not to mention, even if Shredder had made it to the prince and fought him and managed to return before the hidden camera timer went off, Kira and I conclude that they likely would have been left with significant injuries that would have had to be healed with blood. Shredder kept some perfect log and inventory of their bags in that logbook, confirmed its accuracy before the trial tonight. Which means whatever way you slice it, Shredder couldn't have done it. Point to everyone but Breen. Rip to Breen. You, how dare you? It's over, Breen. You want to hold up to what you stand for, to what Alexander died for? You need to quit, Shredder. Well, a lot of things, Breen, but you're not going to cross that line. Not tonight. The moment Breen seems overcome with rage. You hear her desk crack as she squeezes the edges of it. And her shoulders fall. Pity. Would not deny this court its justice, but looks back up and pretty and reserved smile on her face. Seeing that Shredder's conviction would not be justice. Not today, at least. However, there's still one more deeply pressing question, Mikhail. Shredder didn't do this, then who did? Oh god, now we need to figure out who fucking did it. What we can do, wait, it was Shredder actually. Yeah, I was feeling that it wasn't our suspects. None of them did it. Somebody else did it. Isn't it something? Everything is falling into place. If you were going to murder Prince, why would you even risk staying in the building? Yeah, had a little bit of an inkling it might have been him, but it was just enough potential for any of them to do it, but nothing definitive. So it's staged. Someone planned this carefully to make it as confusing as possible to follow. Someone with the skill, the knowledge, the strength there. Oh my god. Essential. Understand tonight has not gone exactly the way you planned, but I'd like to request a 3-hour recess. What? Had to follow up on a lead. I'll be this, and you'll have your killer. You have to be joking. Kira watches you intently from inside the room. Green, you called this trial early. I think I have the missing piece, but I need you to have faith in me. Have I not earned it? Kendra and the stanza will turn to watch Breen carefully. Breen, could hardly hurt, could it? You have 2 hours. I better have my conviction. Deal. Very well then, dismissed. Yeah, I get the feeling our dreams are somehow connected, but yeah, I have a feeling that our friend Auric. I had like a little bit of an inkling, but yeah. You make your way towards the exit, you hear someone calling out behind you. Hey, wait. Where are you going? I had to follow up on something. Let's tell her the truth. What can it possibly hurt? There's Kelly going alone. If you're going to face him, you're going to need backup. Try not to seem surprised. Kira, No, we're partners now. If you're going, I'm going to watch your back. Thank you, Kira. Enough of that, Mikkel. Let's get moving. Okay, let's get out of here. God damn it, Ulrich. Why did you have to do this? Apartment is empty when you arrive. Lights are off and the street outside is quiet. Where do you think he's gone? I don't know. Maybe check the bookshelf? Because he always liked his books, so... Bookshelf takes up an entire wall, full of paperbacks Ulrich has collected over the decades. Some are falling apart, seams, glue coming undone, yellowing pulp pages cracked and delicate. Others, like the autobiography Ulrich is halfway through, were brought as recently as last month. There was just one thing missing. Do you see a book titled this? Kira scans the shelf, but comes to the same conclusion you did. No, I don't think so. Is it significant? Not sure. Interesting. Let's check the trash. The trash are far too many blood bags. Yep. That confirms our suspicion on that. Kira. Kira looks over your shoulder, nostrils flame briefly at the lingering scent of blood. That's a lot of bags. Thursday came in to restock the night before last, but by last night I noticed we were almost out. We did. He pursed her lips staring down at the metal bin. It's a lot of blood to go through in one night. You see him when he came in the night of the murder? Shake your head, a sinking feeling in your chest. No, I was out all night. That's why he sent us on that frickin' wild goose chase to plan it out, get back, and then heal himself up before we noticed. Son of a bitch. No, it's out all night. It's taking out a suspected masquerade breach. So if he came home injured, I wouldn't have known. Now to check the closet. Closet is full of your clothes and Ulrich's. Neither of you are particularly interested in the finer points of home organization. Curse her intercepted with hating slacks, button-ups, vests, and no regard of what they are or who they belong to. How do you find anything in here? Well, it's not like it is a lot to keep track of. Nothing has a set place in the closet, but you know what should be there. Favorite coat, Oryx's nice shirt. He would have worn that to the trial if you had been there. Instead of black clothes, you both use it for stakeouts. Something is missing though. The leather jacket. What? And an undershirt and pants, they're gone. She shoves the hangers aside and the lingering scent of smoke shakes off the clothes. Last night. What could he have been possible? He had possibly had to investigate at the lakeshore. To smell that strongly smoke, he would have had to be staying right next to the flame for a long time. Long enough to burn a jacket and undershirts. Maybe he's just wearing them? His usual clothes are missing too. What if he disposed of them to hide the evidence of his fight with Alexander? Oh, so he would have burnt the clothes to get the evidence. Do you think he would notice? Would have been right if he did. I didn't suspect him at all. Why would he do it? I don't know. Gone all you can from the apartment. Not looking good. Are you sure you don't have any motive for him? I never heard him say a bad word about Alexander. He seemed genuinely sad about his death. He understood the problems it would cause. No idea why he would do this. But he has the means. Access to the prince, combat training, and that ritual that Shredder mentioned. Rick would have had that too, wouldn't he? Whatever the disciplines that came along with it. Yeah, we're definitely not defending him, because he definitely did, so consider our words. Knew he was bloodbound during the time in the Sabbath. It makes sense he would. Prince, that, and all that, who knows what he has. Curry places a hand on his shoulder. Mikhail, I know this looks bad. Can't imagine what you're going through right now. But I need you to focus and impartial here. Whatever ends up being the truth, I want you to know I'll have your back, alright? Alright, come on. We still need to find out where you went. Right. Turn around and scan over the apartment one more time. Living room is in order, kitchen is clean, Rook's room is unchanged, and your own room? One moment. Push open the door and switch on the light. I feel like the shadow you saw on your nightstand from outside is washed in light. The other copy of the book. Pick it up, leafing gently through the old pages. Note falls out. On it is an address to a building across town. Passed by dozens of times. Run down with disuse. Kira, I think I found him. I think he wanted me to find him. Kira crosses to look over your shoulder at the address. Reads it, she leans back, frowning. He is your sire. I trust you. If you did this, you know I had to bring him in. But if I let you go alone, talk to him first. Do you think he'll hurt you? Yeah, I'm not sure anymore. Years ago, I wouldn't have even hesitated, but I can't believe he hid this from me. Can't believe he was able to. We'll go in the same time then. No, even if it's dangerous, he was still more likely to react better if it's just me. I'll be fine. Kira nods. I'll be in shining distance, just in case. If all goes well, we have 10 minutes. With that, I'm coming in no matter what. Got it? Got it. Okay, let's go. The street is abandoned and quiet in this part of town. Nobody comes here. Haven't for long as you can remember. You wake Kira to the side of the door and she nods, leaning outside against the wall. Remember, 10 minutes. That's all I can give you. I know, thank you. If you need help, try to scream before he stops you. You nod. Then you walk in. Seems somewhat familiar. Yeah, it's the room from your dreams. Seen the space in person? Something about it itches at the edge of your thoughts. Like a word on the tip of your tongue. Blank space in your memory where you know there should be something. Move through it as if you've lived there your whole life. Also echoing emptyingly as you walk. I hope you would find me. The ambush catches you off guard. The beast moves before you think, and catching your attacker by the throat and slamming him against the wall. Dream from the other night or the murder flashes in your mind. A stake in the back. Pain. Where's that going from your ears? Sorry. Oh, it's about my death. Red rage fades from your vision, just enough to see who you have in your grasp. Hand travels as you try to wrestle control from the beast. It's your friend, but your body is tense like it expects a fight. Sharp blade would punching through your chest. I'm sorry. Don't sneak up on me like that. Beast's voice threads barely contained through your own, rough and driven with violence. Rourke raises his hand in surrender, unarmed, helpless, submitting. Slowly, resentfully, your beast slouches back into its cage. Of course it does. Rourke is of the same blood. He knows what your beast wants. You drop him. Rourke slumps against the wall, hand coming up to rub his throat. Got quite a grip when you put your mind to it, don't you? Why are you here, Rourke? Gaze strays to the ceiling. The walls, the door, the cushioned chairs, rat-eaten and mouldy. They pull at your attention like, do you remember it? Look back at him, frowning. I've seen it in those dreams I told you about. Never been here before, but how could I have dreamed it if you had any more dreams? I dreamed about reading that book you like. I saw you reading it last night. Do you recognize any of it? I did. It was like I'd read it before, but a long time ago. It must have been back when I was first embraced. Anything else? Today, dreamed I embraced someone. A friend. But I don't have any childhood. It's just a dream. Even as you say it, I feel a wrongness crawls around your chest. Doesn't feel like a dream. Rourke shifts on his feet, thinking, Mick, will you walk with me? Heads deeper into the room and you follow. You remember how I joined the Sabbath? Yeah, you betrayed the prince. Rourke winces. Yes, I suppose I did. Why? So we're going to raise the city to the ground. Chaos in the streets. Country and kin alike, dead by the hundreds. I'd been keeping track of their movements for the prince. I'd seen what they were doing to the cities left in their wake. It was barbaric. Couldn't let that happen to our city too. The farther the two of you walk, the more your beast will rise against the confines of your skin, struggling against some unseen danger. Search around the dark corners, but nothing seems to be amiss. And no matter what you tell yourself, the feeling is persistent. Why do you know this place? So I met the Sabbath Archbishop, prepared to attack us, and I offered her a deal. Handed the sea on a silver platter, in exchange she would leave it, like anyone who didn't resist. She agreed. All she asked in return was... Rourke paused to a stop at the foot of the set of stairs, but your feet won't follow. Beast beats against your bones, urging you back, away from the danger. The prince. This is where it happened, the dream. Presence behind you, your friend, trusted, safe. A stake clean through your heart. Sorry, Mick. Seen it on your face. You must have. Why? Rourke's shoulders drop in relief. Prince was... You were. You are my friend. When the confirmation loud slams into you like a wave. Dreams were real. They were real. How did nobody else notice that? Or be able to tell that I was the missing prince or whatever? Surely they would have noticed and asked me about it. But a prince in your dreams. Rourke was the friend who staked you. If I hadn't given her the sea, she would have slaughtered everyone. And she would have saved you for last. I couldn't accept that. So I got you out of the way, just like she asked. I looked away, shoulders hunching, voice quieting. I staked you, so I wouldn't have to kill you. Why don't I remember any of this? Because I used Dominate to take your memories. You were staked and you couldn't fight back. Sorry, Mick. I promised you I'd follow you anywhere, forever. Then I abandoned you. Well, you didn't really abandon me. I'm still here. Didn't abandon me, Rourke. Still trying to wrap my head around this, but You were just trying to keep me safe. It was either watch me die or fake your death. I didn't see another way, Mick. I know. Well, at least you think you know. Memories are hazy, but something in you believes him. Done nothing but look out for you for 2 years. Why would he do that just to betray you now? Sabo have been gone for ages. Why wait so long to wake me up now? I wanted to be sure you were ready. Needed to make sure you were prepared to take out the mantle. You could survive without me if you had to. Oh. Don't know why it took me that long, so you wanted to kill this prince to make me the next prince. Ah. Alexander was many things, including a brilliant tactician. If I made my move before you were strong enough, I'd have simply marched you back into the grave. But you are ready. Dreams prove it. They've been coming back more frequently now. More clarity. Every day your blood thickens. So was you? Yes. Why? I always liked him. Liked him. I do. Did. He was a good man, far better than most kindred managed to be. I respected him a great deal, and I considered him a friend. Then why did you kill him? Auric, I don't understand. For you, Mikhail. It's always been for you. What? Alexander needed to die so that you could rule this in his place. Yeah, like I said before. I lost you your city once. Took advantage of your trust and stole it from under you. But I promised myself I would get it back. And now I have. You're the oldest in the city. Aside from maybe Oleg, the prince is dead, and as a previous ruler, you have a claim to his power. You can have it. It's yours to take, Mick. That's insane. Won't be easy, but I swear, we can do it together. You have so much more power than you know. Together, we can take your rightful place. I swear. What are you proposing? So what, we just march into Lyceum and declare praxis? Now it's our new regime? Or, no, not your new reign, your old one. I'm taking anything that isn't already yours. Not to mention the hard work is already done, Mick. Alexander is dead. Despite his strength, Breen is unpopular. Against you and I both, let alone whoever join us. But I won't do this without you. I want to have knowing that you understand, praying that you agree. There is no future for me in Krakow without you. Time's up, Mikhail. Before you think you have time to react, Kira launches herself across the room at Auric. Tackles him to the ground, and it takes a few moments for Auric to wrestle her away. Stop, both of you. Kira and Auric both freeze. What? Look, if you want to kill each other, that's fine, but for the love of all that is holy, just give me a second to think this through. Can't be serious, Mikhail. You murdered my sire. I did, and Mick, you know she'll never be able to let that go. Damn right I won't. Mick, I know you two may have grown close, but she can't be trusted. Kel, I know he's your sire, but I won't allow this to go any further. He's a liar and a killer. I will not stand to see him go free. Damn it, what the hell am I supposed to do? Of course we gotta fucking choose between the two of them. What do we do? I mean, with everything that Auric has done for me... Sorry, but I had to choose Kira. I like Kira more. Auric, whoever I once was, I'm sorry, but you killed him. Won't deny our bond, but not the same person. Is that really how you feel? Yes, I won't make Kira for sacred justice for you. Then take it. Kira looks at you skeptically, but you keep her eyes fixed on Auric. I want you to be happy, Mick. All I want is for you to be happy. Enough of this. He says it with authority, but he doesn't move without your acknowledgement. Committed more than one crime. I'll pay for it with my life. Have no regrets, Mikhail. Say the word, Mikhail. Remember me and live well. Do it. Yeah, I love this like little hand-drawn stuff. I really like it. It's really fucking cool. Kira lunges forward and only a moment Auric is ash. She finishes, she stands tall. That's for Alexander, you son of a bitch. Turns to face you. She is startled by your tears. You are too, Mikkel. You try to turn away, but this time Kira lunges at you. Brace for an attack. But instead, you yourself locked in a hug. Aww. So deep down, Kira is a very nice, very wholesome and lovely vampire. Kira's on a strong wrap around you. Oh, she's a very sweet vampire lady. You know exactly what I've taken from you. For that, I'm sorry, my friend. Aren't you elders, Kira? What? Apparently I'm a lot older than I look. There's a moment of confusion before she laughs. It seems strange to see her smile now. Thomas far away. Kel, what do we do now? Mark may not be around anymore, but he had a point. What do you mean? Breen is bad for the city. We'll lose more than we gain with her, and you can make a play. Consider the idea. No, without Auric, I have no idea how to lead anymore. Still too new at this. But you? Yes, Kira would make a great leader. Kira looks at you with shock. You were Alexander's protege. He had everything you need except for backing. I can be that backing. Kira studies your face carefully, looking for any hint of doubt or humor. She finds none. So, what do you say? Oh, and that's the end. Wow, that was so good. I really loved that. That was very well written. I really liked it. And yeah, I definitely like the sprites as well. They were very well drawn. Yeah, towards the end of that, I definitely was losing my voice because I'm not used to speaking so much, but yeah, that was a really good story. Guy talked to the rest of us. Okay, but yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. That's fun. Ooh, hello. Well, how delightful. Honestly felt you two made a wonderful team. You have my full support, Kira. Young as you may be, between Mikkel and I, no one will stand in your way. Yay, we got all like support. Hey, Kira, hell yeah, king of the hill. I think it's pretty cool and weird that a young'un like you is taking the throne. I think Alexander would approve. As for Breen, well, I think it's about time she learns to compromise. Yeah, we got Shredder outside too, hell yeah. I see. Given your support, I would seem I have little choice. Very well, Prince Kira. Well played. We need to readdress security in the financial sector. Please get in touch with Oleg about potential redundancy there. Shredder needs to find a way to make more with less. Not allow Proco to be the next London. Counting on you to make these things happen. Count on you, Mick. Oh yeah. Big commitment, but I think I can make a difference here. We can make a difference together. If you're willing. No, I'll follow you anywhere. Just say the word. And that's it. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. If you guys want to play this for yourself, maybe see what happened if you pick Auric. Link will be down in the description below, and yeah, we'll be moving on to the next game.